sovereignty is the being self-directed or the ability to control one's actions on some level. It's kind of a tricky one to define. Like we think normally of like kings and queens of old being the sovereign, right? The leader of a country, or that countries are sovereign territories, meaning that they don't answer to anyone. And in the United States, we're citizens and not subjects. And to me, that's the definition of sovereignty, right? We're part of this polity here, but no one owns us. They don't tell us what to do. We inform the government of what we would like it to do. Now, it doesn't work that we individually get to do that, right? Like we have to vote on things, but the idea is that you're not owned by anybody.
And that's, I think, on the, on a philosophical level or whatever, feels like you can't escape that, because even, let's say, you are a person in a Christian community, to some degree you're owned by the theology and owned by the group think of, well, you need to believe this way. This is how we act. It seems like there's almost nowhere you can go to truly find that.
I don't know. I think you can participate in a religious community and retain your sovereignty. I think kind of the way that a lot of people would see it would be that if you're not sovereign, how can it really be said that you believe, right? If you don't have the capability to choose, but yet you identify as something, what does that really mean? So, I mean, it's certainly possible that people are ideologically captured and haven't thought about things. And I don't know what you can do about that. Like that's a sad reality, but I think there's enough people, and especially here in the United States, that we have a tradition of this, that want to remain in this state of being self-directed, that it can survive.
Can you teach someone that is ideologically captured to start thinking for themselves? Is it possible?
No, I don't think you can. I think you can just be a kind human being and like talk to them. And, if you want to try to convince them of something, fine. But I think people have to come to it on their own terms. And you can help people. You could be an example. Like this is how, I've got 3 kids, and the way that you might think like, well, how do you teach them to have good behavior or whatever? And the answer is you can't. You just have to model that behavior yourself, right? Mm-hmm. Because they're going to see what you do and emulate that. And it's a cruel thing that happens to you, right? It's a mirror for your own faults. Like, you see your kid do something that, yell at somebody, have no patience about something, whatever. And you're like, ooh, I remember the time when I did not have patience, and that's where they got this, but the same as it is with sovereignty, I think like you can behave and do things in a sovereign way and hope that people see and are interested.
Yeah. And I guess I think about, that's right. And this is kind of where the advanced communication IVN comes in of, you're not going to lead them there by, like you're saying, convincing them. It's going to require questions and just, hey, do you think this? Do you think this? Do you think this? Until they start feeling like they're the ones asking themselves that question. So, or sublimating, I guess.